Okay, what's going on? Welcome back to the World's Gone Mad podcast. I'm Garry Butterfield. It is Thursday, the 13th of August, 6 a.m. here in my humble little studio here in Seaford, South Australia, Adelaide, and I'm going to talk about some crazy things that are going on in Australia right now regarding lockdown, coronavirus, and all that good propaganda. Got my screen recording cracking on here, and if you've been living under a rock, you may not have known that Melbourne in Australia has the strictest lockdown rules in the world at the moment. 14 days to slow the spread, as they say, but for some reason Melbourne is on lockdown, stage 4 lockdown for 6 weeks, meaning, what do we got here? The whole of Melbourne the whole of Victoria has to wear a mask. If you're outside, you will get fined $200 if you're caught outside not wearing a mask for a valid reason. You're allowed 1 hour exercise per day, and you're allowed to go to the shops for medical supplies and food. That's it. And if you're caught 5 kilometers away from your house, you get a massive fine. You're only allowed 2 people inside your house. $100,000 fines for businesses being open. $20,000 for individuals that are inside that business. $5,000 fines for, as I said, being 5 k's away from your house or whatever. It is really mental. We got curfew going on. Each night you are not allowed to be out of your house between 8 p.m. and 5 a.m. Like total authoritarian lunacy going on right now in Melbourne. And for 6 weeks. Why 6 weeks? If it takes 14 days to slow the spread, why 6 weeks? And these crazy restrictions, it's just crazy. And on top of that, you get things like this. You get a Victorian police officer manhandling, choking and choke slamming a 21-year-old, looks like about 50-kilo woman. Mind-boggling, right? Mind-boggling. And even more mind-boggling, the response online to this chick getting her so-called comeuppance for giving the cop a bit of lip, alright? No 2 ways about it. The cop walks up to her, she's not wearing a mask, okay? And the cop asks for her identification. I'm pretty sure she flips him off, doesn't give the cop her name, and the cop also asks why you're not wearing a mask, and she just tells him to pretty much fuck off. Okay, I get it. That's not how you talk to police. But do you honestly think that gives this copper a right to grab her around the neck and then choke slam her on the ground and continue to choke her? What the fuck, man? What the fuck? That's not okay. That is not okay. The government here in Australia is so authoritarian at the moment. It is mental. And what, she gets choke slammed, assaulted for what? Not wearing a mask? Like, I'm assuming that's for her own good. I get it. She should have just said, my name is blah blah blah, and I have a medical exemption from wearing a mask. She doesn't do that. Instead, she gets pinned up against the wall, she gets choked, and then choke slammed. That's not okay. Just for the fact that she wasn't wearing a mask, and then gave this cop a bit of lip. Again, you shouldn't. There's no point giving cops any lip. I've done it before. All it does is get their back up, and then you end up getting chokeslammed. Nah, you end up worse off, is what I'm trying to say. But that doesn't give this copper the right. That does not give this copper the right to just go, you know what? You disobeyed my direct order. I'm now going to show you what's up. That is not okay. The cops are supposed to be bigger than that. They're supposed to be above all that, you know? Instead, the cop goes, you know what? Check this out. Which, it's not okay. I hope this copper loses his job. not go to jail, but I just hope he's not a cop anymore, because it's not okay to just go around choke slamming people because they didn't do what you say. That's pretty much the bottom line. So what, she wasn't wearing a mask, who cares? I know that's the law at the moment, but she did have a medical exemption. So the situation's fucked. She shouldn't have given him lip, but then he should not have just gone, check out my choke slam. And the world is pretty mental right now because of a copper choking an innocent person to fucking death. So it's not okay to choke George Floyd, but it's okay to choke this woman because she wasn't wearing a mask. I don't understand what is going on in this country at the moment, because there are so many hypocrites, there are so many Karens, do-gooders, snitches, dobbers, whatever you want to call it. There is so much SJW shit going on in this country at the moment. People just dobbing in people and wanting... So this chick got chokeslammed because she wasn't wearing a mask. It's a $200 fine, blah, blah, blah. So that's... I love it how people love to dish out a consequence that is so much more egregious than the crime that this chick originally did. That's what does my head in. There was a subreddit where this article ended up on Reddit, and 1.5 million people subscribed to it, and the majority of the comments were, good, this bitch got what she deserved. She should have been wearing a mask. Oh my god, I cannot wait till this social justice warrior bullshit comes around and bites them on the ass. Right now, it's not them, it's this woman not wearing a mask. But it doesn't stop there. It will come back around and fuck you at some point. This shit needs to stop. You need to stand up for this authoritarian bullshit and just put an end to it. Don't stand for it, because it will come back and get you. It's not just this woman that's getting it. It'll come back around. They're going to come around for everything. No rights, locked in your house, can't leave, can't go more than 5 k's away. What is going on in Melbourne? The Premier of Melbourne reminds me of the Mayor of New York. Loves the power, loves telling people what to do. But yeah, isn't that crazy? That people are like, yep, she got what's coming to her. Again, there's been about 200 deaths in this country from coronavirus. 1,055 deaths less than the flu from 2 years ago. And here we are choke slamming women on the ground because they don't want her to, spread this deadly disease. When, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Restrictions. Why is that okay to just choke slam people? It's not okay. And now, so the cases in Victoria were going up like a fair bit. Apparently they were getting 600, 700 new cases every day. Still, a few old people were dying. And apparently that's justifiable enough to lock us all down for another 6 weeks. And then a few days later, the cases in Victoria have started to come down. So what do they say next? It's always about the next wave. It's always about, what do we got here? The next terrible scenario for Victoria. So it's always about the next fear-mongering thing. It's always about how can we keep you scared? How can we justify our nonsense authoritarian dictatorship? It's always about the next thing. Since I'd done the last podcast, there was that crazy explosion in Beirut. That story went away pretty quick, didn't it? Damn. One of the biggest explosions ever. And it made the news for one day. Wasn't it attack? Was it a nitrate storage facility welding mishap? Who knows? Because that is now gone from the news cycle. You'd think that would be a pretty big story. But nope, on to the next thing. Can't fearmonger me with that story. But yeah, vloggers fined 500 for Macca's run. Deeply disturbing coronavirus claims. More fear-mongering. It's not okay. Choke slamming women because they're not wearing a mask is not okay. That's pretty much the gist, the theme of this video today. I'm not going to go into any much more than that, except Melbourne has crazy lockdown rules at the moment. Can't go more than 5 k's away from your house, and if you're not wearing a mask in public, you could end up getting choke slammed like this woman. Welcome to Australia. Welcome to authoritarian dictatorship tyranny. You think international travel is going to be happening anytime soon? I don't. As I've said in another video, the Prime Minister has said that international travel next year will not be an option unless a vaccine is ready and you have had it. Just wait for the chip or the app that you have to produce every time you go outside or somewhere public that says you've had your shots and you are COVID free. That's where we are heading. That's where we are heading. But if you agree or disagree that this woman should be getting choke slammed for not wearing a mask and being a little lippy, leave a comment below, hit me up on social media, send me an email at wgmpod@gmail.com. I would love to hear your views pro cop slamming this chick on the ground or anti slamming this chick on the ground. I think it's crazy, but a lot of people seem to think it's okay. Let me know what you think. I'm going to wrap this video up, and I will hopefully not take so long to produce the next video. So subscribe to the channel, hit me up on social media, find us on all streaming services, WGM What's Gone Mad Podcast, and subscribe. Thanks for watching.